Hello, welcome to my live broadcast. I'm Carol Tuttle, the creator of several programs, including the 30-Day Money Cure, Dressing Your Truth, The Child Whisperer. Say hello in a comment, hit that emoji button, and where are you tuning in from around the globe? So today the topic is, which I think is really important and timely for our particular environment here in most cultures, are you in a why bother frame of mind? And this has been on my mind quite a bit. What motivates us? There's a lot of things that could put us in this, well, why bother? And I want to talk about the variables there, and I'd love for you to add your thoughts on this in a comment thread, because it's an easy place to go and allow ourselves to kind of settle for less, to I don't think apathy is so much, there's a little bit of an apathetic quality to it, but there's definitely a sense of, well, it won't make a difference, and well, why bother? Because certain things are happening now or will happen, so there's no point in putting in the effort or application of myself. I've been learning a lot about the state of our country's health here in the United States, and it's quite shocking in a very disappointing way, quite honestly. I've got a new brand I'm working on. I haven't announced yet when I'm launching it. It's called Empowered Aging with Carol, and I'm doing a lot of work in writing new content and sharing in my videos and articles. I have a vast amount of information based on my study of the longevity field for over, I'd say I really tweaked it more to be longevity now, when it used to just be what's kind of cataloged now as biohacking, but I've kind of moved away from that and really focused in on longevity. And if you were to guess what percent of American adults are overweight, what would you guess? What percentage is that? And of that, what percent, well, no, then we'll add another statistic. What percent of Americans have diabetes? They're literally, they are diagnosed with diabetes. So take a guess at that and say hello in a comment. We're going to talk today about the why bother state of mind, and it's an opportunity for you to look at your life and consider, where are you practicing your why bothers? Why bother? So let's look at the more global experience of it. This can come into play for, I'm going to take a leap into a space I rarely talk about, and I'm not going to get specific about it, because any of you that are in this space and have this part of your lifestyle and experience, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so we're going to talk about religion, politics, not in the manner of which other people talk about them, more in how they're affecting us emotionally and mentally, and how it's affecting our decision making. And then I want to talk about money at large. I want to talk a little bit about aging and the whole why bother in the aging perspective. And then there was one more I wanted to hit. Oh, just in the day-to-day, the little qualities of the day-to-day. So somebody make a note of all those, because I'm just kind of building this list as we go. And if I miss any, I want you to alert me in a comment. You didn't cover this one. So let's start with religion. Doctrinally, and I'm not discounting, this is not about saying what's true, what's not, this doctrine, that doctrine. I honor all walks of faith, all practices of religion. There's no judgment in any of this. It's just in a lot of religions have in their doctrinal teachings that there are events that are playing out that will cause certain side effects that will put us in dire straits. We might call them signs of the times, the catastrophes, whether they're natural or man-made, events of certain events that will roll out that will alter our experience so dramatically on earth. It'd be easy to step into, or relax into it. Well, why bother? Because those things are going to happen. So I don't, why invest myself in improving myself? Why invest myself in going after certain goals or pursuing interests and desires? And I use the word investment intentionally. Why invest in learning how to make my money grow? Because all these events are going to wipe all that out anyway. So, there's no point. And I just kind of have to wait it out. So the wait it out creates a why bother response. I'm waiting it out till certain events play out. So why bother? And it's easy to talk yourself out of things. Now, could they? I'm not saying whether they'll happen or not, but if it's affecting your day-to-day quality of life now, today, when none of that is happening in our lives, certainly there's personal traumas and more intimate experiences that aren't cultural events and at-large events. So check yourself on that one. Is that affecting you? Are you choosing into that at times? Go ahead and keep those comments coming. And if you'll hit that emoji button, and any of you that feel impressed to share this on your own feeds, thank you very much. Say hello in a comment. The next one, politics. I know I could say pretty honestly that everyone in my country, in the United States, has been somewhat disheartened in the quality of the practice of the character of politicians. And this is not about parties or sides, but we've lost a lot of faith in the system over the last 5 or so years. There's just been a lot that's come forward. How much of it do we know? Again, we could speculate on a lot of things. I tend to consider a lot of things, but not embrace them as absolutes. Possibly. That could be true. I don't know. How does it affect my day right now, here and now? Besides the taxes I have to pay and what I consider I'm not the only one. It is legitimately an inflated economy. Yeah, that's not, and do I have an opinion about where my tax dollars go? Yes. Do I always support it? No. Do I have any power to control a lot of it? Not in my immediate day. Our votes are meant to help us influence all those things. So let's hope for the best. But that is a space, again, where you can get why bother? Here's what it might sound like in somebody's mind, or if they're really stuck in a why bother with politics. Well, it's all corrupt, and all our money is being wasted, and all our tax dollars, and there's just a real easy way to really let that just aggravate you and not you. So you're just, why bother? Why bother? The whole economy is going to collapse anyway, and the dollar's not going to be worth anything. So why bother improving your financial circumstance? Why bother making peace with money and making money joyful? Because, there's plenty of that to read about, listen to. There's every version of an angle these days. So, you got to be careful of how much you're consuming, and is it uplifting you or defeating you? How's it affecting you? Okay, after that, what did I say? I said religion, politics, money. What else? What were my other ones? Somebody was going to prompt me on these. Money, and let's yield into that one, because I've been talking about it in respect to politics and such. Money. I watched my last broadcast. A lot of you have watched it. Thank you so much. I taught 3 steps, 3 techniques to help shift your energy in the current economic inflated state we're in, where things are costing more, your money isn't going as far, and how to empower your money to spread further, work harder for you to expand. So go back, and we'll put a link to that other broadcast here in the comment thread. But money, I've come to, more recently, I've been frustrated with it when I've had I turned what was a very challenging relationship into a very peaceful, harmonious one for 30 years now. In the last 4 or 5 months, it's stirred itself up again. And as I said, people ask me, how many times do you have to clear certain things to shift it permanently? And I say, as many times as you have to, as many times as it presents itself. Well, we've never been in this place before, so opportunity is here for us. And so I've been working on resetting my energetic design and how I vibrationally connect with money, so how it flows to me, things that show up, what I attract, what I manifest, what I'm inspired to do, and how I am to make decisions around money. My husband does the same thing because we share joint, we share our money. We don't have independent, money experiences, and we're both very active in this function that we're talking about it and encouraging each other. He didn't watch my broadcast. I taught him even over the weekend the 3 steps, and he was like really open, and it's good, let's do that. And we're very prayerful to ask that our money be protected and that we be given the guidance we need to ensure the greater good for our financial scenario. And so you need to take the money cure, the 30-day money cure. We start a week from today. If you've taken it before, you want to refresh to reset your money in a vibration that will set you up for success with money in this particular passage that we're moving through with our economic situation. So I hope to see over 200 or more people enroll just for the money cure. Let me know if you've signed up again just for that. If you're returning, if you're a newbie, please join us. It's a beautiful program and a beautiful community. And let me know if you have a question about that in a comment. I'd be happy to answer it. What was the other one I had? The little things. It seems like I had 5. So I've done religion, politics, money. Did anybody take notes for me? I guess I can't expect. Aging. Okay, I think it was aging. Aging is interesting. I have a saying. Getting older is inevitable. How we age is a choice. Everybody's getting older, but it seems like until we hit these, their rites of passage that we come to, that we get to decide at those points how we're going to age and how we respond to the events that are unfolding for us. Because 100% your body will wear out unless you're taking such pristine care of it throughout your life, which is possible, that there's no breakdowns or conditions that present or diseases that develop, and you're emotionally balanced and you were raised in the perfect home with ideal parents that raised you true to your type, and you were given, the support you needed on all levels, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You've been an active person the entirety of your life, and all of that added up to age beautifully from the moment you entered adulthood, from 20 on to 90 something. But that is not our story. I have not met that person yet that has that story, and there's genetic stuff in the swimming pool as well. But interestingly, how much, and this is another statistic, all right? I asked you one at the beginning of the broadcast, and I'll repeat it. What percent of adults in America are considered overweight? What percent would you say? Now, you could Google that. Try and guess without Googling, okay? Don't go do a Google. What percent have been diagnosed with diabetes? Just pull that out of what you think is the answer. Now, what percent, the other train of thought I had was that, we're aging, we're moving into the kind of the last of the baby boomers that were born in the midst of processed foods becoming a way of life. I was born in 1957. I know. For you that were born in the 2000s, I remember in like 1980, thinking people that were born in 1920 were ancient. So, in perspective, you probably think like, that's so long ago. That's like almost a century ago. So, the deal is when you're born in the 50s, which a lot of my audience was in the 60s, processed foods hit the marketplace. It was really in the 50s we turned a corner and we started to really change how we ate. And we're feeling the side effects of that. So, what percent are overweight and what percent are diabetic? 80%. That's like blew my mind. I'm just like, what? It's that high? And 50%, not of the 80, just 50% of all adults have been diagnosed with diabetes. And is one of type 2, which can be prevented 100% because that's 100% food related and diet related. So, aging is also a place you can get into the why bother state of mind. Now, I've been talking to my daughter. I was talking to my 42-year-old daughter last night because she's just hitting that phase. Because you move through these, 40s in your decades, stuff starts to, those rite of passages start to present. And, none of them are that interruptive to your quality of life typically for most 40-something-year-olds. 50s is when you hit the decade where you're like, whoa, okay. You get to kind of by between 50 and 60, you get to make there are a lot of rites of passage that you get to make a decision how you're going to choose to age. Because once you hit 60 and your decade of your 60s, you're either going downhill faster or you've turned it around and you're starting to rebuild, regenerate, and age well. And that's what happened to me in my 50s. I had stuff coming on that was really aging me quickly. And those rites of passage really got my attention and I started to learn. So, a situation I've been dealing with, I was recently diagnosed with idiopathic neuropathy. It's genetic in my family, only 8%. That was the other statistic. Your genetics has an 8% power of influence, let's say. So if you do nothing, it increases its presence of power and influence. If you choose to do things that will help your body overcome it and heal it, that 8% stays at 8% and can be overridden. So my father had very chronic neuropathy up until when he died. He was in extreme pain. A lot of years of his elder, he lived to about 90. And this came on about 7 months ago. And it was like, what? I mean, I gotta love my dad. He and I were really not, we had no bond. Dad played the role, my dad played the role to set me up to heal my life so I could help all of you. Thank you, Dad. He's passed away. But I've gotten pretty much everything my dad's ever dealt with. So not only I get to respond in love and affection and appreciation for my father rather than resentment and anger that, now I gotta deal with all the stuff he had. That's so not fair. So see, when you get into the not fair thing, it's the why bother. Now, this is a degenerative disease in the diagnostic world of Western medicine. Do they have a cure? No. And idiopathic means we have no idea why you have it. It's genetic, probably. There's not anything going on in my body that would cause that as a side effect. I don't have diabetes. My resting glucose was like 75, which is really low. No spinal issues, blah, blah, blah. We've checked all that just because my doctor's real thorough and he wants to make sure now. Now, what's going on? He said, well, I was hoping it wasn't this because if it were other things, we could do something about it. But if it's genetic, we don't have any resolution for you, but to medicate you. Now, if I wasn't in the world I'm in, that there's my emotional healing, understanding alternative regenerative medicine, understanding that I have other choices, but I've got to go beyond the sort of well-worn path, which is, I've been on that, I've been on the other path for a while now. So that was not like new to me. It's like, okay, there's got to be other solutions here. And I've actually found them and I'm very excited about them because my feet have been feeling really good the last little bit. We've really been able to remedy a lot of it. And I'm just really thrilled to be able to share these things with you once I launch this new brand and the resources that have presented in my life. And so aging is definitely a place you can go. I could have gone, and I told my daughter this, that's where I was going last night. I said, if I were someone that just was going to age as usual and I wasn't willing to do my own homework and find answers and be open to other resources, I would have just taken the diagnosis, gotten the pain med, and that's a wrap. I mean, it sucks for me. Why bother? Why I can't do anything about this. Why bother? But I don't have that why bother attitude. Now the last one, the day to day. Okay, let's take you've been married for whatever. And some desire, some opportunity, some goal that you want to go after. And then you think, well, why bother? Because my spouse isn't going to support me. I'm just going to get talked down about it. I'm just going to be confronted with ridicule. Or they're going to joke about it. Why bother? You'll talk yourself out of it because of relationship stuff and what goes on in relationships instead of just holding your own and moving forward and then speaking up and saying, I would appreciate your support with that rather than your ridicule. So just, until that can happen, I'll choose to not share anymore. And thank you. You got to be calm, gracious, and honest. That's your throat chakra. That's opening your throat chakra and your third eye, which is your intuition, to open those up, to know what to say in those moments. Because what happens is when you've had these patterns play out for, that's not a new pattern. Let's say that's happening to someone. They either saw their parents, one parent treat another parent that way. Maybe they were talked down to by a parent. It's an ongoing story in their life. So their throat chakra literally clamps shut. It's like a reflex and it shuts down. And it's very difficult in that moment to be aware of what to say and then have the energy available to say it because the energy's been shut off like a switch. I've got stuff to help you with that. There's some free content on the throat chakra at caroltuttle.com that's excellent. And so, you got to look in your life. We covered religion, and if you missed that, you can just watch the replay. We talked about how politics can create this why bother state of mind. How money, definitely, and I wanted to throw in here, I was talking to Colleen today in our meeting, my broadcast manager. I said, it really helps to have money to invest in your aging experience, to buy the supplements that will support you because there's certain things that will help you age better that are supplemental in nature, that because our bodies stop producing it at the level that keeps us at our prime health. To have the option to do regenerative therapies, even if you're doing more traditional practices and therapies and procedures. That's okay. They can mix. And to have those choices. Money is a lovely resource and tool that helps you age better. So get that money stuff cleaned up. Join us for the 30-day money cure. Go to healwithcarol.com/money cure. And then aging can create that why bother state of mind. Ailments, pain, not being able to be as active, joints, swollen joints, hip, knee, knees are painful. Why bother going on that walk? It hurts too much. There's just so many little things that can pop up and big things that present. And then the day-to-day small stuff that a lot of times is relationship. Why bother working out? I don't feel let me tell you, I work out really steadily. If you follow me, I mean, I don't even post every day. I mean, I get some form of not just activity. Exercise and activity are very different because exercise is very targeted to either resistance training or cardio exercise, where activity is like gardening and walking can be if you have a good clip. If you have a pace that can get your heart rate up into about probably a 70% range, but you got to walk pretty fast. You got to, or go up some up hills. You got to take some hills because you do need to get your heart rate going. And then tougher cardio is getting you into like the 84% when your heartbeat, like for me, it'd be about 134 beats per minute. And that's like my intense cardio. But I work out in some manner every day because mental health is so benefited from it. And there are many, many, many days I don't feel like doing it, but I don't obey my mind that way. I don't let my mind make the decision. That I don't feel like it isn't the determining factor. Will I feel better because of it? And do I want the benefits from it? Yes. Okay, that's the determining factor. So you got to develop a will. It's your will. It's like a muscle. Your will not let your mind win out. So self-will, so that you will yourself when those why bother, I don't feel like it presents. And you will yourself to do it because you'll be glad you did, because you want the benefits, because you'll just feel better. It's the same with food. It's the same with fixing yourself up. Make yourself look pretty in some way every day, even if it's just a little bit of makeup and a pair of earrings. Invest in yourself. Feel pretty. If you don't feel pretty and then you don't feel the value. You feel different when you've taken some time to make yourself look pretty. You feel pretty. You feel different. And so that's an investment in yourself. And that's what we're doing in the Dressing Your Truth world. So that's what I got. Share your where do you get stuck in the why bothers? And what do you do to get yourself out of it and not let it win out and settle? And we hope to see you in the Money Cure a week from today that we start as the group. The course is evergreen. It's already in there. You can get going on it right now this week. Get a head start. The Mother's Day sale, today's the last day. You can save up to 40% at shopdyt.com. It's all on sale. There's something there I'm sure you would improve the quality of your life, because everything I've talked about, I've got products to support you in that, pretty much. And then I don't sell religious material though, or political material. But I do sell great books that help you really thrive in your own self-identity. And I'm going to read you a success story. One more announcement. We have a live jewelry try-on event Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So we hope you'll tune into that. We enjoy doing those. And you truly see in the 4 types those variables that come forward through our 10-12 minute time here. It's kind of interesting to see it when it's playing out. So we're just type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and it's very very obvious. So this is a member of the Healing Center. I won't share her name because I haven't gotten permission, but she posted this today, and she shared, and this is someone that's worked very hard. She wasn't someone I'd say got quick results. She had to really believe in it. She had to dedicate herself and stick with it. She really had to, and she did. I've always been impressed with her commitment to the long haul of it all. And she wrote today, Money Cure Success. As we are now a week away from starting Money Cure 2024, I wanted to share my own success story. I began the Money Cure in 2018. For the most part, I felt fine with my money, but certainly had deep beliefs that needed to be cleared. My main block was my house. I was convinced that I was stuck in a home that I never really liked. I deeply desired space for my growing family, trees and yard space, and privacy while still feeling safe. I yearned for a place that would feel like home. Every year as I did the money cure, I would clear blocks and increase other aspects of my finances, but still be stuck with the house. Last year, a few months after doing the money cure, I attracted my home. I am so grateful. Now get this. I am so grateful for my 10 acres of forest and a good sized yard for my kids to play in. As I walk through my trees, I feel immense gratitude for the blessing of the healing in the healing center. I'm like, if we had in 2018 told her, well, this is what's gonna show up for you, I don't think she would have believed it, see, because that wasn't there yet. And it's very cool to read the success stories that people have and share one here in the comment thread because they're so beautiful that God is good. He gives us even more than we've asked for in most cases. Because I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Congratulations. So join us and get on the other side of your money in a place of power and gratitude so it's working harder for you, spreading further, and getting the job done where you're going, wow, how did that even happen? I don't need to know. I'm just thankful. So we'll see you in the Money Cure, and we'll see you Friday in our live try-on event, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for sharing this in your own space, and thanks for being our customers. You keep us going. We really appreciate you.